In this video, we will learn more about Python programming, the basics of Python programming language. So let's start. I am using Linux operating system, although any operating system will do. In Microsoft Windows, we can use a command prompt, like the command prompt. It can be terminal, it can be in case of Linux it is a terminal, in case of Windows it's just a command prompt to compile and run the Python source code or the programs that we will be writing using some text editor. So we need a text editor and then the Python interpreter. So for that we have to ensure that Python is successfully installed in our system. So let's start. First of all, we have to access our terminal. In Linux it is a terminal, in Windows it is a command prompt. Now we can use a text editor. In Windows we can use Notepad or Notepad++ or anything will do. In case of Linux we have VI or Emacs or Nano. These text editors will help us to write our Python programs. So first of all, I am I have already accessed my Linux terminal here, and right now I will create a directory to in which we will be writing the Python source code or the Python programs. Now before we write a Python program, just let me introduce you a few things that should be known or understood very well before running or compiling Python programs. The Python is compilation is a different type of compilation. Here the Python program that we will write here, that is written in text editor, that is called the Python source code. And if we need to run or execute that source code, we have to ensure that the Python interpreter is properly installed. That Python interpreter is often called PVM or Python virtual machine. So Python virtual machine is rather platform independent. So it can be installed in Windows, it can be installed in Linux, and the compilation process executes in two steps. When the Python program, the source program, is first compiled using Python compiler, or often it's called just-in-time compiler, and that creates Python bytecode, and that Python bytecode is then executed by the Python interpreter or PVM, Python virtual machine, in the memory. So first the thing is that we will write now the Python source program, and we can also execute the Python instructions or the Python codes one after another, line by line, using that simple command prompt Python 3. If we just type in Python 3 and hit the enter, then we will access this console, Python console, where we can execute the commands or the Python instructions line by line. Here what we do is that we can take the help of any topics to get the proper details on that topic. So if we type here help, So it takes us to help prompt, and here we can check different types. We can check the information, or we can get the information about different modules or keywords or symbols or topics. So Python documentation is very strong, and whatever we type in here means if those topics exist, then we can get a help about those topics. Say for example, if we want to get the help about the modules, so we can type in here modules like this. So it will just show us all the modules which are installed in our system, which are currently installed in our system. So all the modules are listed here, and we can check the modules, the list of modules. Even we can get the help of that particular module in detail if we type here. Say suppose we want to get the information about the OS module, so you can type here OS. So it will show us all the things which are related to OS modules, means all the classes and all the variables. These are the variables, these are the system variables, or the package variables rather, and we can get information about what these things do. So using the OS we can get enough information about the various types of things which are defined in that module. The local variables, the system variables, that is the data, and their attributes, and the functions, different types of functions, and even the other variables like the variables which are defined in the path modules. In the path means the system variables. These are the data, different types of data, and they have fixed values. They have fixed values. Or we can check the information about, like here we can check the different things, like here the path, defined path, or the environments, different types of environments. Even the line separator is by default \n. So all this information we can collect from the help. So Python documentation is very strong, and we can get the information about any topic, any module that we are interested. So we can exit from here using quit. So we have exited now, and here we are back in our operating system's command prompt. Now we will write a few simple programs. First of all, we have to understand about the different types of identifiers, identifiers and keywords. So identifiers are nothing but the names of the variables. Say here, if we access this Python interpreter, this Python command prompt, here we can see that if a variable is something, a location where some value is stored, it refers to some memory location, right? So here if we type in here x equal to 3, so x is here the variable and its value is 3. Its value is assigned as 3. So something which is on the left side of equal to sign, that is treated as variable, and something which is written on the right hand side of the equal sign, that is treated as the value, which is assigned to that variable. So Python doesn't have any predefined, we don't have to declare any type beforehand, because Python is dynamically typed language, so you can assign multiple types of things to a single same variable. Like we are assigning here 3, and in the next line we are assigning a string. So it is allowed, and that this variable name, that is variable name, is called the identifier. This identifier has to start with an alphabet or an underscore, and it can follow 0 or more letters or underscore or digits. And the keywords means it's a few words which have special meaning in Python. So we cannot use the name of that keyword as a variable name. So if we want to list what are the different keywords in Python, we can do that easily. We can for that purpose we can see here, using that help if we are here, we can learn about keyword. Here we can see the information about the keywords. So here the keywords are there. These are the keywords. So here the keywords are defined here is in the variable kwlist. Kwlist is the variable, or here is the data rather, which is defined in the keyword module, and we can learn about the different keywords in Python. So for that purpose we have to exit from this help. Then we have to import that keyword module, and then we can print that data inside of this keyword module. So print keyword dot, that variable name that we just saw was kwlist. So kwlist. So you can print the different keywords, all the keywords. These are the keywords which are available in Python. So these keywords, these are the words which have special meaning. We cannot use them as the variable name. So if we do like this, as equal to 8, so it will give us an error message, since we are using a keyword as a variable name. So you are not allowed to do that. So Python types are, there are mainly 3 categories of data types here. The basic types are like integer or floating point numbers or complex numbers or boolean or string or bytes. Similarly, we can have some container types also, like list, tuple, set and dictionary. These are the different data structures, the main data structures which are the core of the Python. So using these data structures, we can do a lot of things. We can solve a particular given problem. And there is also one user defined type, and that is class. So object oriented programming is well supported in Python, using class and all other features of object oriented programming. So here if we define a variable with a value x equal to 3, So you are assigning here an integer 3 to the variable x. We can print the value of that variable using print statement. So print x will print its value, that is 3. Or simply in this terminal, this is the Python interactive shell. So in this Python interactive shell, if we just give the variable name, it will show us that value. Now if a variable is not defined or is not declared, then what it is showing is that it is showing it's not defined. So you have to define it first. Now the numbers int, we have just seen int. For binary numbers we can prefix with 0b for binary numbers. So if it's x equal to 0b 1101, it is 1101, so it's a binary number. And how will Python know that it's a binary number? It will check that prefix 0b. Since it starts with 0b prefix, so the rest of the numbers they will be treated as binary numbers. So if we print x, so we get the output in decimal. So 1101 is converted into decimal number. So that binary number conversion of binary number to decimal number happens by default if we print the value of that variable. Similarly, floating point numbers can also be assigned, like x equal to, if we assign here 1.4, then we can check that it's now floating point number. X now contains floating point number, or the decimal with the decimal point in it. Similarly, complex numbers can also be assigned to a variable, like x equal to 3 plus 2i and it will be j, right? J, then y equal to 5 plus 6j. Then if we add them together, we can see 8 plus 8j. So it is printing the summation of these two complex numbers. So this is it is showing the output correctly with the real part and imaginary part clearly distinguished from each other. Then we can have a Boolean type also. If we assign x equal to true, then here we have to remember that true is that first character of true is a capital letter T. So x is true. We can also have, similarly, we can also have false. So true or false can be assigned like this. Now if we want to check the type of value x is now containing, so we can also check that using type. So print, then type, then x. Can you show us that is a class bool? It's a class bool. Bool means it's a Boolean type. So everything in Python is every every primitive type, like int or float or complex or bool. Everything is an object. So object means it is an instance of a class, so it must be some instance of a class. So that's why it's showing us as a class. If we assign here x equal to 4, it is now integer. So if we print its type, it will show the class as int, means it's an integer type. Now arithmetic operations, we can perform some arithmetic operation on numbers or variables also. Say if we have a variable a equal to 2 by 2, then we print the value of a, it will show us the result. So this is a division operator. Here the operator is a division operator. Slash is a division operator. This slash is a division operator. Now we can similarly have a modulus operator. A equal to 9% 4. So it will give us 1. So it's modulus or the remainder operator. Similarly, we can have exponentiation operator. A equal to 3 to the power 2. Then if we print the value of a, we have 9. Similarly, we can have quotient operator. The 4, if we assign 4 double slash 3, if we print the value of 1, 8, and then we can see that 1. So it will just discard the fractional part. It will just discard the fractional part. If it is 9 by 2, then it will be 4.5, and 4.59 by 2, and if it is 9 double slash 2, then it will have 4. It will just discard the fractional part. Similarly, we can perform these operations on negative numbers too. Then we have some precedence and associativity among the different operators. So there is a rule, like expression. If an expression may contain multiple operators together and multiple operands too. Like here in this is an arithmetic expression. So here this double backslash is an operator, and 9 and 2, these are the two operands. This is a binary operators, means these operators operate on two operands. That's why these operators are called binary operators. Now we can have an expression consisting of multiple operators together with multiple operands, like a equal to 3 into 4 by 2. We print a, it will give us 6, which is the value after performing the operation on this expression. Now these parentheses are actually treated as operators, and whatever expression is mentioned inside these parentheses, they have the highest precedence, means they will be performed fast. So if we write like this, 3 into 4 plus 2 into 5 so the multiplication is performed first inside these parentheses. After that, addition will be performed. So parentheses have the highest precedence. Similarly, after that comes the exponentiation. Then comes the multiplication, division, and finally addition and subtraction. So multiplication, division, they have the same associativity, means they performed from associativity left to right or right to left. The operation will perform either from left to right or from right to left. So this is called associativity. So if we have an expression like 10 by 2 into 3, then this, since we have only two operators, one is the division operator, another is a multiplication operator. So here, and both of them have the same precedence. So the associativity rule will be followed, and the associativity rule here will be from left to right. So it will perform 10 by 2 first, and then it will multiply the result with 3 and finally show us the answer. So obviously it will be 10 by 2 means 5 into 3 means 15. So it is showing us 15. Similarly, if we take another example like here, in this expression we have three operators, rather four operators. One is division, there are two division, one multiplication, and one exponentiation. So here, since division and multiplication both have the same precedence, but exponentiation, this operation has higher precedence than addition, multiplication, or division. So here the exponentiation operation will be performed fast. So it will be like 2 to the power 5 will be performed fast. So 2 to the power 5 means multiplying 2 5 times. So it is 32, and then the operation will be followed from left to right, because we don't have any other operators of different precedence. So the rule of associativity will be followed. So the result will be like 4 by 2 into 32 by 4. So 4 by 2 into 32. 4 by 2 will be 2, then 2 into 32 means 64 by 4. So 60. So the result will be 60. So in this way the operators perform their task. Now if we can also take we have different built-in functions in Python. We can take the help of that particular function using the help. Similarly, we have just seen all the modules. We can check the modules in Python using help. Now we can check different types of jargons or the terms which are often used in Python, like collection is a generic term which is used for different types of containers. Iterable means we can see a collection that can be iterated over using loop. Similarly, we can have an ordered collection, unordered collection, sequence. And immutable means something that we cannot change, or mutable, something which we can change. Now the comments in Python start with hash. So whatever is written, the line must start with hash, and whatever is written after hash is simply discarded. It's simply discarded. Now we can have another multi-line comments which we can which we can write using 3 quotes together. This is multi-line comment. Python will discard it. It will just show us that thing, that string, but if it's not assigned to any, if it is not assigned, then it will simply discard it. We will shortly see it. Now we will exit from this Python shell. Now we will write our own source program using a text editor. For that we can use any text editor. In Linux we will be using Nano, and in Windows we can use Notepad or Notepad C++ or Visual Studio Code. So let's write a simple Python program with the extension .py to mean that it's a Python source program. Now we can, here in Linux we can use that shebang, is something like this, so that we can treat it as a script, executable script, and we can directly execute it just like shell script. Or we can totally discard it, means we can simply write the source code itself. Say a equal to 1 2, b equal to 3 4, a plus print a plus b. Now we'll save it. Now simply it's a text file containing some Python source code. If you want to run it, we can use that Python program, Python 3 as Python virtual machine PVM, then a.py. It will execute. So in this way we can execute Python program. Now we have to make sure that we don't use indentation whimsically. Like here, if we perform like this and if we execute this, it will show us an error message, unexpected, saying unexpected indent. So we will use indentation only when it is required. And then we can use multi-line statements. Like if we have a string, this is a string. Now we want to continue to the next line, then we can use backslash character. This is the second line. Then we can print X. Now since this is a multi-line string, we will use here triple single quote character. For that purpose, you don't have to use backslash here. Backslash is used for multi-line expressions. Expressions means if we want to perform z equal to a plus then backslash next line b, then this allow Control X. It will show us the answer. Since we are using the expression in multiple lines, so this backslash will be this backslash will represent the end of the line, so that we can move to the next line immediately after the backslash, and we can continue the expression in this way. If we do like this, so it is printing the string in multiple lines. It just verbatim is the way we have written in the source program. We can have another, we can use multi-line comments as multi-line string as a comment also, without assigning it to any variable. Then it will be treated as comment. Like this. This is a multi-line comment. This is the second line. So this multi-line comment of whatever is this multi-line string, rather, since it is not assigned to any variable, it will be discarded and it will be treated as multi-line comments. So in Python, every type is a class. So integer, float, complex, bool, string, tuple, set, dict are all classes. And we can create an object from a class. So class we will discuss in detail later on. The class has a similar class name and it contains multiple methods and multiple data. Data means it consists of data and methods. So the methods operate on data, and we can create the object of that from that class. This object of that class we can instantiate, and that is the object is something which takes up memory space, and it can be used as long as it is in the current scope. Once it gets out of the scope, we just JVM just clears it. Sorry, here it is Python virtual machine PVM just clears it. Since every type is an object, so every object has a ID, and that ID we can print also. Suppose here variable a is assigned a value of 12, is an integer type of object, and similarly b is assigned the value of 34, it is also an integer type of object. So we can check the ID of this objects. So using the ID A, ID B, in this way we can check. So I forgot a comma here, right? So it will print us the IDs of the objects. So that's all for now. In the next video we'll continue with further details. Thank you.